The U.S. Treasury Department moved next, issuing sweeping sanctions designed to freeze assets, cut off financial channels, and disrupt the organization's money flow. RCMP units in Canada, Interpol analysts in Europe, and Colombian investigators all began sharing intelligence in real time, building a multinational task force focused on one objective: dismantling anything connected to Ryan Wedding. At the same time, the State Department raised the reward for information leading to his capture to $15 million, one of the largest fugitive rewards ever offered for a Canadian national. They even announced separate bounties for the assassins tied to the Medellin hit, a rare step that signaled just how seriously the U.S. viewed the murder of a federal witness. Nowhere is this tension more visible than in a downtown Toronto courtroom last week. Deepak Paradkar, the man the FBI has dubbed the cocaine lawyer, is fighting for his freedom. The Crown argues Paradkar was a key member of Wedding's inner circle, allegedly advising on murders and facilitating bulk cash drops. Crown attorney Heather Graham made the stakes clear, with multiple life sentences waiting in America. The prosecution says Paradkar has an extraordinary incentive to flee. She pointed to a lifestyle of $5 million homes and luxury cars that she says simply doesn't match his reported income. According to the DOJ, he wasn't just offering legal advice. He was allegedly advising Wedding on how to eliminate witnesses, sharing sensitive information, and facilitating communication between co-conspirators. His arrest sent shockwaves through both countries and exposed just how deep the conspiracy had gone. But Paradkar's defense, Ravin Pillai, argues that the Crown is building a case on speculation, not evidence, to prove his commitment. Paradkar has offered a staggering $5 million joint pledge with his wife, proposing 24/7 house arrest, where his wife would act as his jailer at home. On the stand, his wife was resolute. "I believe in him, and I believe in his innocence," she claimed. To her, he is a husband. The judge, Peter Bodden, raised a chilling question. Why would a 62-year-old with heart disease and diabetes risk fleeing? The Crown's answer? The alternative is spending the rest of his life in an American prison. The media reaction was instant and explosive. Within hours of the indictment being unsealed, headlines across Canada and the United States shifted from shock to outright disbelief. This wasn't just another fugitive update. This was a former Olympic athlete now being accused of ordering the assassination of a federal witness in a foreign country. The Toronto Star, which had been following the case from the very beginning, published a series of deep-dive exclusives exposing Wedding's alleged pipeline, the witness's role, and the hidden Canadian connections behind the hit. The Globe and Mail called it one of the most significant transnational criminal cases involving a Canadian in modern history. In the U.S., the tone was even sharper. Press briefings in Washington used language usually reserved for cartel leaders and terrorists. Officials compared Wedding directly to Pablo Escobar and El Chapo, a move that stunned Canadian audiences and made international headlines. Television networks replayed the same images. Wedding's Olympic footage side by side with his FBI 10 Most Wanted poster, it created a surreal contrast, a reminder that the man smiling on the slopes in 2002 was now being hunted across multiple countries as the alleged architect of cartel-linked assassinations. And when news broke that a Toronto area lawyer, someone with decades in the Canadian justice system, had been arrested for allegedly advising the killing of a federal witness, the reaction was nuclear. Legal commentators called it unprecedented. Former prosecutors called it a betrayal of the profession. And international observers pointed out that Canadian organized crime had never been implicated in a case this complex, this violent, or this global. But as we stand here today, December 18, 2025, there is a fundamental legal truth that the headlines often ignore. Ryan Wedding has not been found guilty of a single charge in this indictment, as well as Deepak Paradkar. On December 23rd, a judge will decide if a $5 million bond is enough to keep the cocaine lawyer from disappearing into the shadows. But for Ryan Wedding, it seems the verdict has already been signed in the court of public opinion. The law sees an accused man, the world sees a wanted fugitive. We are witnessing the collision of a global manhunt and a legal system that says no man is guilty until the gavel falls. You've been watching part of an ongoing investigative series from Sad Girl Productions. This documentary is based entirely on publicly available information, including archived news reports, court documents, and community sources. While every effort has been made to present this story accurately and respectfully, all events, statements, and accounts discussed in this video remain alleged unless otherwise verified through official records. The purpose of this series is to document, educate, and analyze criminal history, not to glorify, promote, or condemn any individuals or groups involved. Viewers are reminded that many of the details shared in this episode stem from a combination of media coverage, which have not all been independently confirmed. Sad Girl Productions makes no claim of factual certainty regarding any individual's actions or involvement. All subjects discussed are presumed innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. Thank you for watching. If you found this episode informative, please consider subscribing, liking, and sharing. More stories are available on the channel.